Pull on up a chair. You're at Camp Video Games, y'all.
Hello there, and welcome to Camp Video Games. This is a podcast that discusses, analyzes, reviews, and dissects multimedia adaptations of video games. And today we are talking Mega Man Fully Charged and Mega Man X, The Day of Sigma. I'm Junior Camp Counselor Sean, and I definitely know that is Junior Camp Counselor Josh.
Hey, what's up, gang? This is Junior Camp Counselor Josh. The pairing of these might seem odd. In my brain, we're discussing these as the best and worst adaptations of the Mega Man universe.
That's the thumbnail.
Yeah, so you got that out of our system. But what I need you guys to know is I'm so sorry for ever sending people on a hike with Storm Eagle. I did not know he would turn out that way. I did not know he would behave that way and turn on Camp Video Games. Cabin 12, gone. Just abolished by wind. Didn't know he was going to go Maverick, so sorry about that. Apologies to the parents.
Yeah. You'll get your refunds in the mail. Yeah. We just got to get head camp counselor Michael Mayonnaise to write the checks.
And I'm working on the life insurance policy. When it happens by Maverick, it's a whole different thing. They make you go through so many levels of bureaucracy. Anyway, let's talk about these adaptations. The Day of Sigma OVA, and we'll talk about the other one.
Yes, the Day of Smegma. With Mega Man, campers, this is part 5 in our Mega Man rundown. We've talked our ways through the original 6 Nintendo games. We talked through Mega Man X. We talked through the Mega Man
animated series, the Ruby Spears 90s animated series. We talked through Mega Man 11, and here we are. This Day of Sigma and the other one. We'll get to the other one.
Now, okay, to talk about the Day of Sigma, it was included with the Mega Man X remake for the PSP.
That's right. The year was 2005. I had just graduated from high school.
Yeah, I was the angriest I've ever been in my life in 2005.
And therefore, I thought video games were not cool because then you won't get laid. You won't meet girls.
You will not.
So I barely know what a PSP is.
Yeah.
There's a black window in my history of video games.
A black mirror.
I am lying. Actually, I was a Nintendo DS boy.
Yeah,
we were playing Pokemon Diamond and Pearl nonstop at our job at the computer store.
I was playing Pokemon Gold.
But there is this window that of like the PSP, PS3. It's just kind of a lost era of a lot of video games.
Yeah.
It's like that's where a lot of games went to just fall into a memory hole. What else? PS Vita.
Never touched it.
Xbox 360 has some staying power.
Shout out to my buddy Greg. He gave me his old 360. It was like it doesn't work anymore because it was that old.
So that's all to say. My introduction to the Day of Sigma was the Mega Man X Legacy collections that also include this OVA. OVA. To say anything else about it's redundant. Anyway,
the Day of Sigma was one of the first things that I saw on YouTube when YouTube was a new thing to me.
Oh, really?
The Day of Sigma, because I was like, oh, there's a good Mega Man anime,
and that started building your algorithm brick by brick that brought us to this moment.
Here we are, and now it's nothing but video essays and gun reviews. This one's good.
Sean shows up every week with did you know there's an adaptation of Bonk? Some shit like that. We got to talk about it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily how I feel about Day of Sigma. I think it's a very nice supplement to the Mega Man X series.
It's the best film adaptation we've seen so far of Mega Man. Did you see that other thing? There's something new-ish that came out that did a Mega Man treatment. This is more behind the scenes.
Are you
talk.
talking about
the level up?
Secret Level?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually watched that.
Oh, good.
Like when it came out.
Yeah.
I think it was just like I knew we were going to talk about Mega Man at some point. So I guess I'll just talk about that for a second.
Yeah. Tell me about that because I have not watched that.
Sigma. It's bad. It's bad. It's really, really bad. It's a 10 or 11 minute origin story of Mega Man that looks like it was entirely done by AI. It's really bad. It's hideous. I did not watch any more of those Secret Level episodes. The idea is it's like an anthology show of like, what if we made live action adaptations of these video games?
Yeah.
And it all looks like dog doo-doo. Thrown out on the page and formed into something by a chat GPT prompt. It's hideous. It's bad. I have nothing good to say about it. I always try to say like at least one or two nice things about anything we talk about. I have nothing good to say about Secret Level. It's a cynical dog ass nonsense.
That'll be a great
that
little.
was very uncomfortable to look at.
Good little snippet there. Okay, I am definitely gonna watch it then, based on your glowing recommendation. Okay, Day of Sigma. This is the best anime adaptation of Mega Man that I've seen, and it's not the only one. There's still that other one that we still haven't talked about. The original OVA that was the trailer proof of concept for Mega Man animated series, but the Day of Sigma like caught me off guard because I believe with the original release of the game, you had to beat the game of Maverick Hunter X in order to watch that video.
That's so crazy.
I hate that. Like there's so
especially
much
because it's a prequel.
It's a right,
but it's like it's not a prequel. It's because I think of prequels as it's something that you're supposed to watch after the original that provides more context. This is literally just the setup for Mega Man X. It's not like, oh, you'll appreciate it more once you've played the game.
Yeah.
It gives you like more context and more like sort of like motivation for like why is Mega Man X hunting Storm Eagle, Chill Penguin, and what was his relationship to them? So that's very fascinating.
It's a great idea, and I appreciate. I mean, this is the river delta of video game like adaptations adding to the experience.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, like when we talk about video game adaptations, especially with the earlier in the runs when the games don't look exactly like the adaptations, like for The Last of Us, for example, we talked our way through that in a previous series. And when you're adapting modern games, everything is already cinematic and like polished looking. But when you're adapting older pixel-based art games, that then like it translates well because like the art style for Day of Sigma is wonderful.
Yeah. I will give top marks for that. This is what I wanted Mega Man X to look like, but it's also because they directly took like the original concept art and like the box art, and they were like, "This is the art style. We don't need to reinvent the wheel."
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I already bought these games based on that, so I already like it.
Yeah, exactly.
So why change it?
So it sets up what is going to happen later, the events of Mega Man X, and that's a great idea in terms of how do we get the most out of like how do we celebrate the game while not having to really change anything, or like it plays by the rules that the game has already established in terms of the world building, the the roster of characters in Day of Sigma. It's a strange cast because I mean Mega Man, what is the plot of the Day of Sigma? It's Mega Man realizing that Sigma is betraying the Reploids. I guess, right? I mean, it's just, it kind of reminds me of Seven, with Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt, where there's like two cops on the trail of a cold killer who's leaving these little clues behind, and and then they realize, oh my god, it's the chief of police is doing this.
Actually, I'm glad you like made that comparison, because I think another thing I really appreciated about this as a like supplement to a goddamn video game
is
that it like does a really good job of like playing like a police procedural,
Yeah.
like an episode of Law and Order. Like tonally, like the vibes, the relationships, it feels like Law and Order, minus like courtroom scenes. But you do even have like this scene's like what's his name? Vile is okay. I watched an extended cut, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I don't know where that comes from or what was different. I
No
think
idea.
it might have started with Vile getting locked up or something. But
Yeah.
anyway, Vile gets visited like in jail by Sigma. And like it's just everything is just, I don't know. It's again so cop procedural.
A dead series.
Yeah.
Everything is like there's not that much mirth or like pandering in this. It is very, very, very serious. And it's like taking the story, which is like, oh no, the robot monsters are going to destroy the city. But then they're like, we've got to save this city. It's like it's so like,
dude, there's just like, I can't overstate enough like the importance of like Japan and like their sort of attitude towards storytelling and just like how they balance silliness and sincerity is something like I think American culture is just not capable of. Like, because this is very silly too. Like Chill Penguin is there. Like
Chill Penguin's
yapping like an
adorable.
idiot, you know? But it's still just as serious as it needs to be when it needs to be serious.
For sure.
And like, I don't know, because this is one of my things I harp on, and is because when we talk about adaptations, it's always these like sincere, we care about the source material,
Fox and Space
Japanese animes that are like the ones that I'm like, that's a pretty good adaptation.
Mhm.
I'm thinking of like this. There was the Ninja Gaiden one.
Yeah.
Street Fighter. Have we watched any others like this from like this?
The Final Fantasy VII. What was that one called?
The Last Order OVA.
Yeah.
Like they all like they don't treat the source material like they're embarrassed by it.
No, they celebrate
like,
it.
yeah, is what's so important in making these work for me.
Can I take a sidestep and like make an observation about the Mega Man X series?
Yeah.
I noticed with the Robot Masters, because we played through Mega Man 11 after playing through Mega Man X, and every Robot Master in the original Mega Man series is Blank Man, or in one case, woman.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Without fail, I'm pretty sure every one of them is, something man.
Yeah.
They abandon humanity as the basis for the bosses in the Mega Man X series, which I find really interesting concerning like that Mega Man X, who is like the first robot with free will, that all of the other robots are cloned or like they're based on the Mega Man X design that Dr. Light made. All after Dr. Light dies, it seems, all of the robots are now based on animals instead of humans.
Yeah, like there's a regression of evolution of some sort.
Or a rejection of humanity.
Yeah. Interesting. In spite of the fact that, yes, and one of the pieces of lore that's not new to this OVA, but it's hammered on. And we talked about when we talked about Mega Man X, we weren't like 100% sure, but
Dr. Kane?
Dr. Light lays out Mega Man X, I built you as the first robot with free will. However, and then there's like this convoluted, like, but because you're the first one, you have a X factor, a variable that means like it's a little unpredictable how it will go, but all the Reploids of tomorrow will be based on you.
Yeah, which is why the significance of having Dr. Kane in Able City. Which, I mean, the story of Kane, we keep talking about I was thinking about the Donkey Kong Country animated series and how the very first episode was like a retelling of the story of Samson and Delilah for some reason. And in this case, this is the story of Cain and Abel, where like I don't remember the specific. I know that's an Old Testament story about a brother killing his a brother.
Right.
And
were they were the sons of Adam and Eve, I believe. And
okay. I'll take your word for it.
I believe Cain kills Abel. I forget if it's because God told him to or not. It doesn't matter. But like the broad strokes of this, are there.
and so this is a story about a brother like betraying his own kind, I guess. With the way Sigma is the true Abel of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, I guess. Or spoiler alert, Sigma's the bad guy.
Right. And anyway, I don't know, like how does this thing play out? We open with
it's a great opening.
It's this action sequence of this tarantula thing attacking the city.
A giant bug is attacking the city. Mega Man, save us.
The city's under attack by a bug kaiju. And to the player who has now been able to play X 1 through 8. So I guess there's some fun little prequelness to this. Like you see, X and Zero and Chill Penguin and Storm Eagle and Sigma are all on the same side.
Yes.
And I believe that lore was out there, but like we didn't see it on this individual level of like, oh no, this is what like the workings of the Maverick Hunters was before the Sigma virus broke out.
Yeah, it increases the emotional punch that you could go through if you cared enough about these characters to be like when Zero is destroyed in the first game, you're losing like your greatest ally. I mean, like they are buddy cop. It's like Lethal Weapon or something, like where like these two cops and like neither of them is like I'm too old for this shit. Like they're more like they're good men on the case.
Yeah,
and I also never really took notice until I'm watching this footage of Zero has just nipples. Like just like green nipples.
Yeah, I thought about that actually watching this, and you just now reminded me. He sure does. He's got big old gazongas.
Because I've always been very attracted to Zero, and I'm like, oh, because he's just so feminine coded.
He's very feminine coded. That's a very it's like something that's like that sort of blonde feminine coded character. It's so Japanese.
Well, it's actually based on, I believe it was a Swedish boy who was like a model. I'm gonna look it up. There was an entire documentary about it. He's like called like the most beautiful boy in the world or something like that. I'm looking it up.
Oh, I'm thinking of like like the history of Kabuki and like how a male actor might be dressed up as like a beautiful geisha.
Sure.
My partner and I just watched this movie, Demon Pond.
Cool.
So sick. It's a Japanese film inspired by like a Kabuki era play, and it's about like, this. I don't know. The plot's convoluted, but the point is like it's from the late 70s, and the main character is this beautiful sort of geisha style woman played by a man in Kabuki, makeup. And I don't know, like I feel like there's trickles of that down to characters like Zero. Raiden comes to mind.
Well, okay, because
with like Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 2, like that coding is like a very important part of like the character and the story.
That feminine blonde boy. So this is the boy. I'm showing Josh a photo of this boy that most anime has a character that looks like this. And he was like a sensation. I'm not going to look up everything about this kid right now, but like back in the day, and like you see this early in like even in like Gundam, like the original Gundam series, Char is based on this boy.
Yeah,
and then in
one
Berserk,
of those in every Gundam series too.
In Berserk, there's that. I didn't watch or read Berserk, but there's a very similar looking character, and Raiden is right in line with that Japanese tradition of just this weird celebration of like what was it's a 2021 documentary called "The Most Beautiful Boy in the World," and it's very interesting. The character design and that we're talking about that right now is weird too. But yeah, Zero has nipples.
Zero is indeed like that beautiful boy, but carries himself as this like very strong masculine leader. Of the Maverick Hunters. I don't know if he's supposed to be the leader. I don't remember, but he's sort of like
X's, like top dog.
He's X's
mentor,
role model, whatever. Regardless. And it's just like, God, it's such a cool character design. I want to say, were they designed by Inafune? somebody correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I feel like I may have, whether reading or watching somebody else's video, seen some comment that like Inafune maybe made Zero first, and they were like, you can't use that because that doesn't look like Mega Man or whatever.
It's got to be blue.
Don't take this as trivia. This is me riffing on something I think I heard.
Yeah.
read.
It's okay. No one's listening.
We'll find it someday. But anyway.
It's a wonderful film. I don't want to talk through every beat on this. It's just one of those things that if you didn't know about this, it's out there. It's definitely worth a watch. You can find it on YouTube for sure.
Yeah.
You don't have to beat the game in order to watch this these days, campers.
Yeah. But you can also just get one of those Mega Man X Legacy collections.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're always on sale for $8 to $10.
Yes, and it's
like this
worth
alone.
It is
like,
so worth it.
Yeah, this alone, it's like the Blu-ray would be what, $30? So why not just grab it? It's fun, and then you get 3 or 4 Mega Man X games in there.
And you're supporting Capcom, which could really use your money.
They
right
really
now.
need the help. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. What else is fun and good about this? I don't know.
So I think a recurring thing that is kind of funny that doesn't really translate to the gameplay is like Mega Man has to take the shot regardless of like this, like in consideration of all the consequences of taking that shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like he hesitated early in the video just because there was the chance of him shooting a Reploid that was, on the good side. Mm-hmm. And he, his conscience got in the way of being a good soldier, which is the whole reason Dr. Light was a little hesitant about giving X his full power, because he needed to basically prove that he has a conscience and he's willing to like work for the greater good, not just to meet the goals. Like he's not mechanizing warfare in this way. He's in like later in the series, he becomes a pacifist.
Yeah.
Where it's just like,
you don't even get to play as him for most of the game by 7. It's
because he's so like world weary.
Yeah.
Like
he's
a robot.
It's really funny how much sort of. I go back to like cop procedural, Lethal Weapon, like sort of tone there is to like the relationships and stuff throughout the X series, and we've talked about like the lore of the series as it goes on and how much it is like devoid of humanity and like and like you just kind of feel it like weigh on the characters. They're like, I guess we got to keep fighting Sigma even though there's no life left to fight for.
Yeah.
So, like it's such a dark series in that regard. And I mean, back to Day of Sigma, like this opening for Mega Man X is like, so the quote, I guess we can call it like the third act of the anime, the OVA, is X and Zero have to like hunt down Sigma once they figure out he's gone Maverick, and he's commandeered all the missiles, whatever they're.
He's going full Skynet right now.
Yeah, and he's pointing them all at Able City. And I don't know how much humanity we are to assume lives in this world, but like the assumption is just like he wipes out a good chunk of it before Mega Man X even starts.
Yes. If Sigma doesn't like Able City, does that make him an ableist?
Yes, indeed. So the sort of conclusion or climax of this is when Zero gets attacked and like X has to break through his X factor and take the shot at his former comrade Sigma, who's gone Maverick.
Yeah.
I forget. Do you remember if they explain how Sigma went Maverick, how he got the virus? I don't recall.
Well, I haven't read Heart of Darkness, which is what Apocalypse Now is based on, but I feel like
which is what Mega Man X is based on.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I don't know. I didn't read that one.
I read a good chunk of Heart of Darkness, but I remember Apocalypse Now much better.
Yeah. I've actually got a copy of Heart of Darkness in my car right now.
Yeah.
Not because of its link to the Mega Man X series.
And to be fair, like, the parts of Apocalypse Now where Marlon Brando, Colonel Kurtz is the character, he's sort of like explaining his motivation. Like I'm pretty sure most of that is like improvised. Like
cool.
like Coppola was just told, like, he was like, Brando, we've got you on this island for a week. Just walk around with Martin Sheen having cryptic conversations.
Yeah. I got a great idea.
That's basically the way they did it.
I don't mean for my Brando to sound like Trump, but like, I got a great idea. It's called Mega Man X. I got cotton balls in my mouth.
Yeah, but what it's hacked into is this. I mean, my understanding of it is, it's sort of like you go mad from the madness of war, and I don't know if that's Sigma's deal too. Is like, I've just been a cop on the beat so long, I decided to I let my shell shock and PTSD take over.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's got a sadistic side to him. He likes getting up close and personal when he's inflicting pain, and I think some robots are just made bad. Also,
if you just ever see a giant bald white dude like that, you just he's a violent psychopath.
Yeah.
I don't need to know anything else. Unless he's like actual Marlon Brando. I don't know. I think he was a decent guy. I don't know.
We're both kind of white bald dudes.
But we're not big dudes.
That's true.
We're not roided out
I'm
like
slim.
Sigma,
I'm a hot twink. like the most beautiful. I'm the most beautiful boy in the world.
Yeah. But I don't know. In the story, yeah, Sigma obviously he gets off the missiles, and X stops him by gouging his eyes out or something. I don't know.
The X and Sigma relationship really reminds me of Cloud and Sephiroth's relationship, where your leader, the leader of the platoon, goes crazy and commits a genocide. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what Sigma does, which is exactly what Sephiroth does.
Yeah. I would call Sephiroth's is more a single act of terrorism, taking out the town of Nibelheim. This destroyed all of Able City, as I said, is like, it seems like they're implying that's most of humanity has gathered there. For some reason.
Who needs them?
Or it's at least the equivalent of like New York City, which is where the Ruby Spears Mega Man takes place for some reason.
That's right. Oh.
And
speaking of 9/11, have you played Mega Man?
I don't know, dude. It's I don't know. I enjoyed it. It didn't stick with me very well in terms of like, wow, that changed my life. But I don't know. I think like if I had discovered this as say a 15-year-old in 2005, I would have eaten this up.
I was super stoked when I found it back in the day. Whoever uploaded this to YouTube changed my life. So thanks, because I wasn't playing the PSP at that point, and having just some cool Mega Man cartoon to watch is always a way to keep my butt in a seat for at least 20 minutes. The same cannot be said, however, about Mega Man Fully Charged.
Are we ready to move on to that guy already?
Yes.
Okay.
I really wanted to enjoy Mega Man Fully Charged, but it is, I would call this AI propaganda.
Yeah, so what is Mega Man Charged?
Fully Charged. Okay.
Do your best to bring us up to speed on what that is.
It's a reboot. It's a reboot of the Mega Man origin story that is heavily inspired by Spider-Man. They saw how well, kids love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, what if we made it blue and not Spider-Man, because we can't afford the license, and Capcom's willing to give us a series here.
And also we used the same art style and level of animation, quality and detail as Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol, yeah. This is made for kids. And
this isn't made for kids. This is made for babies. It's rated TV Y7. I see that on screen right now, but I guess 7-year-olds would watch this.
It's made for new parents who are trying to find ways to manipulate their kids into liking the same things that they liked.
Yeah, I think that's the thing I hate the most about it.
Yeah.
Again, it's God, I would love to find something nice to say about everything we make, because I do like to just respect individuals worked on this.
Yep.
But to that extent, I don't think anybody working on this was this is my creative passion project. I'm making art. I think everybody all the way down the line was it's a job.
Yep. The basic arc of the first. I watched the first 3 episodes of Mega Man Fully Charged because they split the episodes into like, it is episodic, and
I did notice it's semi-serialized, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But from what I saw, Mega Man it is a robot, but he's a boy that looks exactly like a robot named Aki Light. And Aki Light has a sister named Suna, but who's the role equivalent. And Suna is a human. But if you looked at them when he's not in his Mega Man armor, he's just walking around like a boy he's Peter Parker at that point.
Right.
And when trouble's a brewing, oh no, Fireman's attacking the giant robot.
I'm trying so
stuff.
hard to pretend I care about anything you're saying.
It's hard. It's hard to care when it's this quality.
Yeah.
When it's this presentation. Because it's so blatantly Spider-Man coded that it's just like, stop, don't rip off that. You don't need to do that.
I mean, I want to compare it to like Spider-Man the animated series from when we were kids.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I haven't watched that in a long time, but I have enough memory to remember like the like care given to the animation is, I mean, leaps above this. Like the color palettes of this are like, they're so flat and sterile and like uncomfortable to look at. And then like the space is so sterile and vacant that like it's almost haunting to me to look at this.
The show looks like it's procedurally generated,
like visually and sonically unpleasant to me.
Yeah.
And like I think, to be nitpicky about it, like I think part of the reason it sounds so bad is I think there was like a rip of this on YouTube that we're watching that I think is like even more compressed than the original, but like it's still, I can tell like when it comes on and it's just so in your face loud. Like, and the music is so grating, even though it tries to like steal a little like leitmotif from Mega Man 2, and then it's just like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It just screams at you.
Stimulate, keep the kids' attention.
Yeah, you're a 6-year-old who has access to every piece of media ever made in the history of the universe. I need your attention. Like, and back to like the Spider-Man from the 90s, it's like it could slow down at times and have Peter Parker just like investigating, like, wait, this is Kraven the Hunter's apartment. Like, oh, look, he has this photo. Like there's
like
none
quiet moments.
There's no quiet moments.
Yeah.
And it's just the camera's flying around, everything's moving, and it's just it's exhausting.
The way that this branches off from the original Mega Man concept is that, well, because the secret identity aspect is a deviation from what is what I accept to be canonically Mega Man's story. Like, Mega Man was a utility robot who, in a time of need, accepted the responsibility of becoming a super fighting robot. Like, that is it's a metaphor for the working man when called into action. Mm-hmm. It's just Japanese military propaganda. It's fine. Defense force propaganda. But the transformation is a little startling because Aki's eyes are brown, and when he turns into Mega Man, he becomes a blue-eyed savior here to
hilarious. He's very Latino coded when he's a regular boy.
Yep.
They're just sort of like, how do we square like everybody wants diversity now with the fact that Mega Man is like this sort of Aryan coded thing, like we've talked about
literally
in the
Mega
original
Man
animated series.
Mega Man is just a different translation of Ubermensch.
I know.
So we need to keep that in mind. Now, the other aspect that is a new, we'll call it an addition to the Mega Man concept.
Is that we have this like Dallas car dealership owner instead of Dr. Wily.
No, it's that there's a little robot living in Mega Man's head.
Both bad choices in my opinion.
Brainworm, perhaps? It's time to transform into Mega Man.
Yeah. Little RFK humor for you there.
Gotta laugh about something, huh?
Yeah.
What else is different? I mean, everything's bad. That's a change. No, okay. So, the reason I allowed myself to watch more than 10 seconds of this was because in our discussion of Mega Man 11, I was kind of let down that there was zero, no pun intended, because there's zero like foreshadowing to the X series. Which if you're doing a Mega Man thing post 1993, you know that there's 100 years later, there's still a lot going to happen. So like anything, you don't have to make huge changes or sacrifices to just create a feasible link between these two timelines, or at least these two eras, I suppose. But I did not see that. But the car dealership guy, that's Sergeant Knight, and he's like an anti-robot like conspiracy theorist.
Because his arm's a robot or something?
He got injured in a war. He lost an arm, and he blames Dr. Light for the loss of his arm and for the robot but he's secretly stirring a robot rebellion. Yeah. Like he's creating anti-robot sentiment among humans while secretly working with robots. So,
sure, man.
Spoiler alert for episode 1 of Mega Man Fully Charged.
I just love the idea of you watching like 12 hours of the baby show to be like, I need to find some Mega Man X lore.
I need, with my fingers tented as I'm staring into the fire.
Intently staring at it with the screen 3 inches from your face.
My wife is like, honey,
straight.
And I'm like, shut up!
My show is on! I gotta watch my baby show!
I'm busy. I'm sorry for yelling.
Yeah, okay, we'll stop yelling.
That's okay, here is an interesting, actually a good addition to the Mega Man concept. They use Horcrux rules for when Mega Man replicates the other robot's powers. So he's replicating Fireman, and while he's using Fireman's power, he's super angry and aggressive.
I did watch far enough to see that.
And that's a brilliant addition to the Mega Man concept, where if they played with that in the games, it's kind of the same way that the double gear can get, you can overuse it and then you can't use it for a little bit. Like that's something. It's something. That's one good thing that Mega Man Fully Charged introduced. In terms of like, hey, when Mega Man's Fireman, he's going to exhibit some of Fireman's personality traits. That's good. That's good stuff, actually. Like pretty good writing in my opinion. But other than that, I really had a hard time keeping like this on.
Right. It
on
was
the TV. I had a hard time keeping the TV on.
It's unpleasant to look at and hear. I can't really get past that.
Yeah. The 8-bit like pixelated like little transitions that they do are great, and it's only like 10 seconds of the show,
right? That
I'm going, oh, that's nice.
Again, it feels very geared for like the Funko Pop collecting 40-year-old dad who's like, I need my child to be into the same thing as me, which I do a little bit of myself. I'm not going to pretend to be above them, but
how many Mario games are we going through with the kid at this point?
But like, I don't know. I don't, think it's that big. I wouldn't be like, you need to enjoy this or else.
Good.
That's like, it feels like that's what they want, out of
the Mega Man ultimatum.
Like that feels like that was the entire marketing basis for this is like, will Funko Pop owning dads force their children to watch it because there's nothing to enjoy about it. No one making it cared. So
is this footage on the screen right now?
I can put it up.
That's okay. There was a redheaded child. That's Wily. It's a weird, like, I don't know. I feel like they're doing the Incredibles kind of thing with like this. He's like a super fan of Dr. Light, and it seems I assume at some point maybe they're going to let him down and Wily will become a villain, or perhaps not. They're just like, oh, he's a character in a video game. Yeah, we'll just use his name.
I mean, I think like, I don't know, a few people had some ideas making this, and none of them came to fruition because people knew it was a pile of turds by the first what is it, 30 episodes that are all 10 minutes or something like that?
No, there's like 50 something. I think there's 52 episodes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Campers, if you like this series, I'd love to hear about it, because I mean, we didn't give it the full attention because we can't. Like, I cannot be expected to watch 50 episodes before I talk about it. Like, I watched enough definitely to get the gist of what they're going for. And if the series takes any surprising turns, or if there are any links to the X series that you could think of, I would love to hear about that in the comments, please.
Yeah. No, same. If you found any value in this, I watched a review that somebody did who did watch the whole thing, just sort of dot my T's and cross my I's.
Cool.
That I'm not fully just being a jerk about this for no reason. I was like, oh no, yeah, no, everybody else feels the same. But like somebody else who watched the whole thing was like, nah, it just kind of fizzles out. They set up something at the end of the series that they'd done, and then it just got canceled.
Yeah.
I forget what it was. It wasn't that interesting. So that's all I got to say about Mega Man Fully Charged.
Yeah, it's there. It is there. It's free to watch. It's one of those things, like, if you don't have money, you can still watch it on the internet for free, which is fine. There's plenty of better things to watch on the internet for free, though.
Yep,
in my opinion.
I agree.
Even as a Mega Man fan, a Mega Man boy. I'm a Mega Man child. That's it.
So I have we thoroughly gotten all the Mega Man out of our systems at this point?
I'm full of Mega Man. I've had a 5 servings of Mega Man over the months. It's been pretty good.
Yeah.
But I think I've had enough, at least for this season.
Yeah, I'm stuffed on Mega Men. Men's Mega have filled my belly and thus poured over, and I don't feel I need to revisit it for quite a long time. But that being said, there were good times had along the way at certain points. A lot of high highs and low lows in the world of Mega Man content.
That is correct. That's a good way of putting it. It I mean, when it wins, it really wins.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's better to just not go to your kids' basketball games. You know?
Yeah.
Dr. Light's just like disappointedly like looking at his watch while Mega Man's missing his third layup. Just
right.
Like,
So on that note, just to cleanse the old palate here, you up to anything else in the world of media or video games this week?
I'm still playing Final Fantasy Tactics Advance.
Nice.
It's just a slow roll. I just play a little bit with my coffee in the morning, and it's a nice little ritual where I'll play, maybe 20 minutes a day. Other than that, I'm a farmer in May, so I'm very busy, mostly just growing turnips and lettuce.
Also very important.
Yeah, you got to eat your vegetables, kids. Tell me about this fancy French game you're playing, Josh.
Holy moly. Yeah, so I'm let's see. Clair Obscure Expedition 33 is absolutely not just the best game this year. It might be one of the greatest games of all time. It's insane. I on my other channel, Carl's Manager, there's it's a sort of, I hate to call it a react video, but like, I was streamed to like the first 2.5 hours of the game and then kind of chopped it down to like, what are the most sort of editorial comments I had to make. And like everything I said within the first 2.5 hours is like continues to like prove itself and pay off about how insanely good it is. And there's like my entire algorithm has just transferred over to people almost to the point that's like a little annoying. People are screaming about like, this game was made by 30 people.
Yeah.
Wake up, AAA video game industry, which I agree with that as a sentiment. There's like a lot of people being like, this just destroyed AAA video game business. And like the thing that like you have to understand is like,
no, it didn't.
It didn't. Like markets are not going to change.
No, it
like
didn't.
there are like it's like the train's already running, like it's not like it's going to like look out to the side and say, wait, we can make more money this way, which I don't think, I don't know. I'd love to see some spreadsheets. So this game did Expedition 33. I saw within the first 3 days, it sold 1 million copies, which is a lot. I believe it's up to like 3 million or more as of 2 weeks out. And And like that is a big deal. And the deal with this game is these developers, they used to allegedly work for Ubisoft, and they just took their passion project and they were like, let's just see if we can fund it and make it happen. And like, let's just hire people who like have the skills we want for like the vision that we have. And at the end of the day, it's just like, as somebody who has grown up playing, it's not just like, oh, it's like my favorite games from when I was young, you know, because people are like, oh, it's like a sort of like a JRPG, like Chrono Trigger-esque successor type thing. But it's like, no, it's like these guys have consistently played all of good video games throughout gaming history, because like there's a lot of stuff where like they're taking the best of like their contemporaries. Like there's like little detail, like you can tell like, oh no, these guys love FromSoft games, like the Souls games and Elden Ring, and like they're taking the best of that stuff and the best of like Final Fantasy. It's very like, actually it's I think that its closest sort of spiritual predecessor is Final Fantasy X, which I could talk about for like an hour, but I won't. But like it's just like, oh my god, it's so fun to play a video game that is made by people who played good video games and paid very close attention to them.
Yeah.
And also have like very good taste and artistic direction.
To see the creator's hand in the final product, that seems like, you know, where you're wearing your influences on your sleeve.
Yeah, there's so many details where it's like you can say like, oh my god, they loved the same detail about a game like Final Fantasy X that I loved, or they were annoyed by the same detail that I was annoyed and fixed it, or like they made the other thing even better. It's crazy. Like there's just like these stupid mini games that are like these crazy platforming challenges that are like the hardest parts of like Mario 64 or Tomb Raider or like whatever, like and they inspire that same stuff. Like I forget if we talked about this when we talked about Tomb Raider, but like when you just like make a run and a jump and you have that split second of like, am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? Like they have these super challenging mini games that are just like an hour of you trying to tackle this really hard obstacle with that feeling like every 5 seconds.
Nice.
It's like they knew what was good about this, they knew what was bad about it, and fixed it and put it in their game. It's just like, holy moly. I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. It's something quite special. I need to stop talking about it or I'll just go for another hour.
So you recommend it?
Strong recommend.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm in the end game, and there's like, I have some pacing critiques, but like,
how many hours you got into it?
I'm like between 25 and 30.
Okay.
So that's another nice thing is like, they didn't overinflate the runtime.
Yeah.
It's not 100 hours, you know?
I have almost I'm almost repelled by a lot of modern games when I find out how long it would take to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't play as much as I would like, first and foremost, but when I play, I want to get the most out of that time and not think that I'm just like chipping away. Like it's like building like sky miles or something. Like when it takes so long, you're like, okay, this is an investment that like if it doesn't pay off, it's very disheartening.
And this is actually like one of my very few critiques about it is like, even though it has a quarter of the length of runtime of something like Tears of the Kingdom or Elden Ring or like Persona 5 is the other game I started that is also like a big inspiration for this game. Like I'm still like, as I'm in the end game, I started like, I don't know, like there's just like a series of like dungeon, go back to camp, run a bunch of like story progress of like character relationship building, dungeon, go back to camp, character relationship building. It's like, it got very formulaic in the last like few hours. And then I went to another dungeon where I was like, okay, I'm ready to like really advance like the story and like uncover some of the secrets and the lore and like, and I started the dungeon. This was last night. It was a Friday night that I had to myself. I was like, all right, I'm going to get in. And I thought like 2 hours later, you know, like, oh, I'm going to get like, I'm just going to relax and watch the movie part, you know? And like, I'm like 4 hours into this dungeon, just like, oh my God, another fight that's going to take 10 minutes. like they just couldn't resist. They had to do just a little bit of that towards the end game. And I'm like, ooh, but up until that, it was perfect.
I think most importantly, like the first few hours of the game are the most important in terms of like making sure that you're gonna stick around. Would you say that they at least? I mean, you said it's one of the best games you've played.
Oh, it still is. Yeah, it's like it's only like, and it's like again, it's just like a little bit of that like runtime creep, okay, or like that fatigue, exhaustion. Like I exactly what you're talking about. Like I feel that in even like my favorite like games that have come out in the last few years, like Tears of the Kingdom, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Elden Ring. I'm just trying to like list the games that I felt what you're talking about, where it's like,
what about Metaphor Refantasia?
Oh yeah, Metaphor like had this like, and like you get to the end game and you're like, ooh, I'm checking my watch. I was ready for like the story to be done 20 hours ago.
Yeah.
Like, they just can't like hold themselves back, and it's funny that a game that like the full runtime is only 30 hours, even that they let it somehow creep in this fatigue of like, oh God, give me a story beat already. I get it. You had to challenge me at the end, but God.
You know what?
It's a shame. Like, I don't know. It's like, maybe that's the next thing for a studio to figure out is like, how do we perfect that pacing, for 100% of the runtime? Just like they did in Chrono Trigger. Like I was expecting this game, and maybe it still will. I was expecting it to have a Chrono Trigger moment where like, okay, you've reached you can like go to the final boss, or we're close to the final boss. Now here's a bunch of side content to just like break it up and just go enjoy it if you want or don't. Maybe that's still coming, but I feel like I'm pretty close to the end game here. And I don't know. Anyway, what were you saying?
I'm going to review this Mega Man energy drink just during the podcast because I don't feel like shooting video.
Oh, all right. I mean, we go for it. We can.
So this is G Fuel. I know I'm just like I'm done talking about that. I want to talk about soda.
Well,
now.
we can just to set it up. Sean has been wanting to review some products,
video game adaptations of food and drink,
consumables, adaptation consumables, and tell them what you got here that you just cracked open.
I have 300 milligrams of caffeine.
Oh my God!
This is the G Fuel Performance Energy Limited Edition Mega Man Blue Bomber Slushy. It contains natural and artificial flavors, no sugar, 0 sugar, which is worrying.
Well, what's the look at the ingredient list? What's the sweetener? Is it allulose or whatever?
If I'm going to read this ingredient list, I'm going to need a telescope. This is so like there's a microscope. Okay. Carbonated water, malic acid, sodium glucinate, natural and artificial flavors, citric acid, vitamin and amino acid blend.
Okay, that's getting weird.
Tyrosine, vitamin C, sodium ascorbate, L-thiamine, zinc, gluconate, niacin.
Wow, this
vitamin
is just
B6.
A smorgasbord. Joe Rogan could sell this.
Oh, it's great. It's great. I killed a moose with it. Let's see.
This is real brain fuel stuff over here. I guess it's G Fuel.
Vitamin B. Yeah, it's for gamers, dude.
Gamer fuel.
I got a game. Caffeine, potassium, beta hydroxy.
I'm just waiting to hear a sweetener.
Potassium sorbate.
Okay.
Potassium citrate. Okay. Oh, it's sucrose. It's bad. It's actually this.
Sucrose is not sugar. That doesn't add to the sugar content.
It has 0 sugar. It has sucrose.
Oh, okay.
And apparently sucrose is toxic to dogs. So be careful. Don't give your dogs
a G fuel.
What else we got?
That was the main one I was looking for. But if there's anything else,
there's a lot more actually.
We also need like a glass. I want to see what color it is. You think?
Yeah, good point.
It's like Windex blue.
Will you go get a glass?
Yeah. You riff on it.
I'm just gonna keep reading. I'm going to keep reading the ingredients here. It's got green coffee bean extract, green tea extract, turmeric extract, tart cherry, blueberry, broccoli, and kale. Josh, there's vegetables in this. It has broccoli and kale in it. Okay, so this is a tall boy can.
Wait.
This is what, 16 ounces?
Yeah, but before you, I want to talk those ingredients for a second, because like those are the kinds of things you put like the the like, oh, an extract of a vegetable or like turmeric and that, like you put that in not because it actually makes a artificial drink like this healthier, but like so that you can market it as like it's got vegetables, it's got brain enhancing turmeric or whatever, like why even put that shit in there?
I think it's
There's
for
just
coloring.
added cost.
I think it's for coloring. So
Well, let's find out. Let's grip it and rip it and pour that boy
I
out.
can't find my phone. Whatever.
It don't matter. We'll find it. Let's just
Okay.
pour some of this G Fuel. It's coming out of the X Buster right now. Oh my God. It's
clear.
It looked like purple while you were pouring, but no, it's just a clear drink. Okay. Interesting.
So
You can put that in your body if you want.
You want to take?
I
You want
guess,
to try it? Josh?
I'll hit me. Put that glass up here. And
Up to the bar.
let me try some G Fuel.
All right. Well, to Mega Man, cheers.
So all your men's mega. Let's try some G Fuel here. Oh my God, it smells like what is that? Something like in a car. Some
like
kind of cleaner.
Like an air freshener.
It smells like windshield. The stuff you clean your windows with.
Kind of looks like it too. I think it's bad. I wouldn't
Oh
want
my
to.
God.
Like, I know people. Like, I also
People
like,
drink this.
Campers.
They wouldn't keep making it if people weren't buying
Campers
it.
don't drink energy drinks.
Oh my God.
It's bad for you. It'll hurt you. It'll ruin your heart. And our hearts need as much help as they can get these days.
I took one sip of that.
It leaves kind
I
of
feel
a
like I wanna
tingly
die,
feeling
Will.
on my tongue.
It does. I mean, it has that like stevia or allulose or whatever flavor to it. But yeah, you said there ain't none in there. Okay, it's it tastes vaguely blue. What's funny is you came over one day all excited about like the blue raspberry pop Kroger
Yeah, it's great.
brand seltzer. So I bought a pack of those. This tastes like if you infused that with poison. I'm gonna have one more sip here. My body rejects it. My body wants nothing to do with it. My body says no. Please stop putting that inside me. And back to the adaptation portion of this can of G Fuel. Does it even say Mega Man on it, or is it just it's a picture of Mega Man shooting at you?
It's got
shooting G Fuel down your goal.
Soda Man. Yeah, it's the worst robot master he's ever turned into. He's obtained the powers of energy drink
imagine
man.
like energy drink soda man. It's just like a big fat like bald slobby guy.
It's like a big gulp.
Yeah, but he's like wearing like a tank top and like roided out. I imagine it looks like that. Have you ever seen the Liver King guy?
Yeah.
I imagine it just looks like the Liver King, but like with an even more like fat belly.
Him admitting to using steroids was exactly what I needed when that news dropped. Like,
who needs his admission? Look at
like,
him.
you just look at the man. You're like, nobody is meant to look like that.
Yeah, and so this
but he actually got that from drinking G Fuel Mega Man Blue Bomber slushy.
it helped him game all night and do reps all day.
Actually, if you drink this, your liver will shut down.
Yeah, you will be the Liver King.
Liver Man. Don't drink this soda.
Wow, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, guess what? There's also a Sonic the Hedgehog and Pac-Man flavor.
What is Pac-Man flavor? Lemonade?
Probably.
They all probably taste pretty much the same.
Yeah, I think that's lemonade.
That's pretty bad.
I know the Sonic one. That tastes like hedgehog.
I've heard the G Fuel name associated with like energy drink crossover with video games for a long, long time. I'd be surprised if those are the only brands associated with G Fuel.
Well, this is a new segment for the show. We're gonna start eating and drinking our way through the video game pantheon in the pantry.
Yeah, the like
camp video game pantry.
I think the sort of like end game of that will be to buy an unopened box of Nintendo cereal on eBay.
Oh yeah, and then we powderize it and do lines.
I just want to know if it tastes as good as I remember.
It doesn't. Nothing's as good as you remember. America was never great.
No, it sucks. It sucks. President Xi, just fire when ready. This shit sucks.
I will gladly inform on all of my neighbors, friends. I just need to learn Mandarin real quick. I'm ready.
Between Mega Man Fully Charged and G Fuel, I'm ready for President Xi to just march down Main Street, dude. Just go to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and just dome a MFer. God. I didn't say that's not, I'm not advising anybody towards violence. I'm just saying, like, if that were to happen, I'm like, okay.
It would be so funny.
It's just an if it happened, I'm ready and I understand the logic behind it. That's all I'm saying now that I've tried G Fuel.
I've only had coffee today, and putting that on top of it, I'm going to die.
We need to get you to a hospital. We need to pump your stomach.
The patient exhibited extraordinary amounts of G Fuel. More than I've ever seen.
Who needs healthcare when you have G Fuel, dude?
Now, I think if we ever do some camp video games after dark, I'll mix this with a little bit of with some Everclear.
A little bit of Hennessy, baby.
No, dude, you got to get the highest grade alcohol poisoning inducing liquor. What is Everclear, right? It's like 140 proof.
Yeah,
Let's die.
I used to not Everclear. I would get that like Kamchatka vodka.
Yeah.
And drink like half a bottle of Gatorade.
Sloosh. Oh yeah.
That's what this tastes like.
Mm-hmm.
That was like when I was like 20 years old, and I was like, this is brilliant. If I get busted at a party by a cop, like they'll just think I'm drinking Gatorade.
That's right, man. No, dude, I haven't had a half a bottle of vodka. I'm an athlete. I got a fuel. I'm a gamer, man.
This might be the best episode of video games ever produced.
Oh man,
it's definitely well prepared and on the rails.
This drink it will bring me energy, focus, endurance, and reaction
for the 30 minutes before it makes your heart explode.
Let's see, we got
this is like G Fuel would kill the movie Crank.
Yes.
like it's a movie about a guy who's like, if I don't have my G Fuel, if my adrenochrome stops, then I'll die. So I have to have sex in the middle of the street.
I'm a fucking gamer.
It's like you solve that movie by just giving a guy a 6-pack of G Fuel, and he's just like, he's just sitting on the couch like, what? My heart's gonna keep going, dude. Oof. I gotta play Cleric Cure Expedition 33. This dungeon's 5 hours long. I need my G Fuel. It's a whole different movie. You don't get what's that guy's name? It's not Liam Neeson.
No, Jason Statham.
It's way off. You don't get Jason Statham falling from or skydiving straight into having sex with a woman or whatever to keep his heart going. Who needs that when you got G Fuel? Who needs real life-affirming events when you can drink G Fuel and game all night?
I mean, I'm getting a full serving of vegetables in this.
Does it say that?
No,
Okay.
no. But it does have, in terms of nutritional value, this has, let's see, what's significant? We got 25% of my daily vitamin B. That's good. It'll turn my pee yellow. That's good. 50% of vitamin C. Like,
I'm going to be 100% honest, though. Like, I drink a liquid IV almost every day.
Yeah, sure. It's just electrolytes and stuff, right?
Yeah. It doesn't have like all the added, there's no caffeine. But I drink like a sugar-free one. I have no idea what they're flavoring it with. They're delicious. And this tastes like rocket fuel. This tastes like acid. So it's like, I'm not above a artificial drink to supplement some bullshit because it's like, oh, vitamin B, whatever, all that crap. But like, this is something else, man.
Blue Bomber Slushy. That's our review of the Mega Man G Fuel Blue Bomber Slushy. containing natural and artificial flavors. Jesus
A
Christ.
drink so good it inspired me to imply that if the Chinese took over, I'd understand.
I mean, this is an official Capcom. Like, Capcom is on this several times.
You got to, man. You can't license something and not let everybody know who brought it to you.
I should not keep this can, right? Like, this is not something
No,
to keep.
no.
This is garbage.
That is that's trash.
This is trash.
We one more drop grain of sand that we've thrown into the pile of burning the planet.
We're roasted, man. We are out of business. It's not looking great. I am ready to talk about video games and their multimedia adaptations. That's about it.
Yeah, we'll be back with more of this sooner or later. We haven't really prepared what's next
What is
very
next?
well.
Did we
We'll
say
figure it out.
Sonic?
We might
Did I
do
say
some
that?
Sonic. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I played Sonic too. I hated it.
Oh, well, let's
Great.
save those feelings for another day.
Thanks for listening, campers. It was really nice hanging out with you today. I hope you got a better drink than Mega Man G Fuel Blue Bomber Slushy.
Yeah, all-time banger
I can't
episode. This is a
believe
real treat for anybody who stuck around.
This is the end. This is like it. Like, I can't imagine. Like, people drink multiple of these. Like, my buddy would drink energy drink after energy drink after energy drink. And it's just like, I mean, whatever. It's just,
Anyways, I'm gonna stop.
like, hard drugs are safer than this. Like, just do heroin.
Okay, campers, like and subscribe, all that bullshit.
If you'd like to write to us, send a message to campvideogames@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram @campvideogames. If you want to become a real happy camper, you can support Camp Video Games on Patreon. For $5 a month, you'll be granted access to even more discussions about movie-based video games, game-based movies, full-length commentaries, playthroughs, and more. Whether you sign up or not, we're glad to have you here at Camp Video Games.